If you have a story to tell, then Radio 1584 is your platform. Contact us on 012 374 1584. That is 012 374 1584. Radio 1584, window to your world.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and namaste, peace be upon you. Good morning, Dumelang. How are you, Mr. Thushan Padayachee?
I'm very well, Yusuf.
Always vibrant. I can see with that huge smile of yours, very vibrant. How are you?
Very well, doing well this morning. It's tiring but exciting.
I can imagine.
Yes.
Final countdown to the big day, 1st of November,
Correct.
right? And I understand it has been declared as a public holiday by the president yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, now you want to be the big boss in Ward 61. Why?
So I think, Yusuf, before I even do that, I want to say Salaam Alaikum to the Institute, the Islamic Services, the members, the community at large, all your radio listeners. And I think before I even do that and say why would I like to do it, can I perhaps read a message out, in support? And I would say Salaam Alaikum, greetings on behalf of Thushan, which is I, and my family. This week coming, on the glorious occasion of the Milad celebration on the birth of the beloved Prophet Muhammad,
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
peace be upon him, coinciding with the Islamic month and the day of the 10th Rabi al-Awwal. Wishing all my Muslim brothers and sisters, Rabi al-Awwal Mubarak. May the Almighty bless all on this glorious occasion. May your Julas and Milad celebrations be a grand success. Surely Almighty has sent a personal mercy to mankind. Rabi al-Awwal Mubarak to you in the membership.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thushan. And I see your posters also. They are all over. And I listened attentively to your manifesto, the other day on various platforms. And I'm actually looking at one now. Take us through the journey to your current aspirations. As I've asked the opening question, why do you want to be the Ward 61 councillor?
So, Yusuf, I've been a long-standing political stalwart in my own right. I know I was part of the democracy for this country. And I currently serve on various social, various sporting, various religious and cultural organizations. I serve there as a member, I serve there as an activist, and I also serve in some of the current sporting organizations, the non-racial history sports projects, as a member. So what brought about my change in me making this particular decision, i.e. wanting to become an independent candidate? So with that said, come to 1994, we had big aspirations for our country. And part of that aspirations is that 27 years down the line, today, I personally am very, very, very disappointed. And I'm disappointed in such that we, with all our various political parties, have not delivered to our people. So what did I decide to do? On the 6th of September, I decided that I would like to be part of change.
6th of September this year?
Correct.
Okay, that's last month.
Correct.
Okay.
And I know some people would say, and I use this line all the time, and they would say, but Thushan, why so late? I had high hopes, and I still do have high hopes for our people. I still have high hopes for our country. But if I don't effect change, and I don't decide to wake up and say, enough is enough, historically we can see, through all the troubled times we've been going through, from crime to thievery to the injustices of not delivering to our people at ground zero. That is my reason, or my real reason for wanting to stand up and lead this pathway.
Okay, a point of clarity, please. You say you made a decision to fight for change on the 6th of September, and you say since time immemorial you have been a freedom fighter or stalwart sort of. Now, can you clarify there? Are you meaning you belonged to a political party previously and now you decide to stand as an independent?
So I am a stalwart, ardent supporter of the ANC,
Okay.
the TIC, the UDF, the United, which is the United Democratic Front. I come from that cloth, that fabric. I don't want to go down the history of my last 100 years of my family. And I'll go as small little bits and bites. In 1980, 81, 82, I led the political boycotts from school time, at our school at Himalaya High School that you have around the corner from here. From that time, I was very actively involved in the civics, the White Blocks Residents Association, the ANC going door-to-door campaigning, promoting the culture, the aims of why we need to change, i.e. the value systems of the Freedom Charter. For somewhere along that journey, right, we did not, and I say I, did not go and take a particular position in that stalwart. I always decided, hold on, I'm an activist and I would stay behind and do things. In seeing my political party change so drastically, and I see these other political parties, they don't subscribe to my value system. And because of that, I decided it's time for me to make a change to effect and lead that guiding star. That's what I'm doing.
Now, subscribing to your values, can you outline at least 3 very prominent community projects that you initiated and you are still running?
So let's go just a bit back in time. And I think this is important to note. A lot of people don't know. The very Bangladesh flats that you see, they call now Himalaya Heights, and the flats that you have there. In the mid-80s, right, under my watch, when I say under my watch, simply means that I was chairperson of the Bangladesh Flats Association. The very flats that you see there and the owners, I led the march, I led the negotiations with what we call J.N. Reddy, that time of the House of Delegates, the Solidarity Party. Right? We negotiated the settlement of people owning those flats. For example, the old flats, 5,000 Rand, the 7,000 Rand, and 11 or 12,000 Rand for the 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, respectively. The new flats, when we talk about that, you had something like about 10,000 Rand, 11 or 12,000 Rand, and about something like about 20 or 1,000 Rand for the people to buy them at that time. Why did they do that? The city was illegally charging people, increasing rental since 1967, 68 to date in terms of the 80s. So what we did was, when we found out legally, what they did was they paid back the citizens, the owners of the flats. And when they did do that, right, we then went on a further march and further negotiations. The first phase of Lotus Gardens, we needed homes. People wanted to move, they wanted to elevate, they wanted to escalate, they wanted to grow. What we did was, we went to Lotus Gardens, they looked for land for people. Now, we all know the natural extension of land for people in Lodgium would have been Erasmia, Christopher going south. But the city then, at that time, the House of Delegates, allocated land for Lotus Gardens. They allocated what they call a 30 square meter house with a 60 square meter of land. We renegotiated that for the people that moved from white blocks, from the flats, from Lodgium in general that were on a list. We negotiated that to what? A 60 square meter of house with 100 square meter of land, plus tile roofing, geysers, doors, frames, all of those things, instead of giving them a shell. Now, lots of people don't know that, right? But the people that are living there today, that are alive, will tell you that story. Right? We didn't go and brag and document those things, but that is what the value proposition under my watch that we did. Now, it wasn't only me, it was a collective we that did that.
And we're moving on to the next question because we are pressed for time. Remember, for our listeners out there, You are tuned to Radio 1584, your community radio station, and all Medina media platform. And remember, if you want to participate, the number to dial on WhatsApp is 07 6655933. That number again is 07 6655933. You can send us your WhatsApp and we'll respond accordingly. And in the studio, we've got independent candidate for Ward 61, the aspiring councillor, Mr. Padayachee. Now, the next question: do you have any qualifications regarding what you want? In fact, before I move to that question, what are the current, you've spoken of the previous projects that we have spearheaded. What are the current community projects or projects that benefit the community?
So I'm part of what we call the Pretoria District Football Association, which is what we call now the Lodgem Football Association. I am the Secretary General there. Right? I am part of the Pretoria Legacy Foundation, which captures the history and documents historical stories with regard to people from Marabastad, Eersterus, the Greater Pretoria, as part of that project. I'm part of the non-racial history sports project, which is capturing the past into bringing it into the future. For one simple reason: going into the future, lots of the stalwarts, lots of the great people, right, that have done tremendous work in our various communities, their stories are untold. We know of Nelson Mandela, we know of Walter Sisulu, we know of Governor Mbeki, we know of Ahmed Katrada, we know of Mani Bensita, but is the ordinary man in the street, is he or her stories captured? Now, those are just some of the projects. I'm part of the LCSA, which is, I'm an activist there. When they call upon, I'm a social activist. When they call upon help with the aged or anything there, I just go. And best as possible, I try to help. I can't be everything to everybody, but those are some of the projects. Like if you talk of from the drugs to doing social work in counseling, individually I do those things myself. And there are people that will bear testament. I don't work under any particular banner. For example, in June, July of this year, we had a feeding scheme where we had a tremendous disaster in our country on the looting. Out of my own free will, we went and we then pushed it under the banner of the Legacy Foundation. We then joined forces with the Lodgem Tamil Association, the Gift of the Givers. We encouraged people, or I encouraged people through my various social networks to donate food because they had the infrastructure. They were carrying the stuff going to Durban, and they had the infrastructure to disperse to the needy. So those are just some of the projects that I was involved with.
Okay, and moving forward, now you are involved in all these projects, and you have been. What qualifications do you have that you think will be of value to saving the community of Ward 61?
So, if you're looking for academic qualifications, right? I've got a matric. I've got 41 years of community experience, right, in the various networks. And when I talk of networks, starting from the various aspects of working in communities like White Blocks, working in communities like the United Democratic Front at the time, working in schools as the chairperson of the SGB, working in the Erasmia Police Forum, the community police forums, we call it the SSF, managing chairing meetings at those high levels with various generals and community leaders from a police forum point of view, working not as an active member, but supporting and being part of the launch of the Lodgem Disaster Management, which happened in our swimming pool many years ago. They in fact invited me to be part of that. Now, you can't be everything to everybody. At certain times you've got to be a supporter, and at certain times you can take active roles. So these are some of the very fabric or essence where I come from in terms of qualifications. And if you ask me, what qualifications would I have to lead the people in this particular space and avenue? Right now, the qualifications are, my heart and soul is in service delivery. I come from different aspects of service delivery understanding, from the hospitals, in terms of going and trying assessing things there to say how we can better improve. I come from an ICT background, which is very technology driven, right? Where we can improve and facilitate things, but we need to carry people in order to do that. I do a lot of, not a lot, but a little. I used to do a lot of teachings, as in with my coaching. I have a level C coaching in SAFA, which is the Football Association, which I coach children. And irrespective, there's a whole host of people that could bear testament to my coaching that I do at Itireleng and into
Mr. Padayachee, I'm really sorry, you've got only 1 minute. Now, this 1 minute is very vital to you regarding the plan of action. If you are voted and you are the next councillor of Ward 61, what plan of action do you have to make Ward 61 a better place to be?
The way to go about, and I call it change, is to find the inclusivity of people, is to make sure that we have what we call participatory democracy. That simply means putting people first. Now, in every community, in our community, Ward 61, the needs of people differ from community to community, whilst we have certain common services of need. I.e., common services would mean lights and water, the refuse removals. Those are some of the common stuff. And then you have certain particular needs. There might be certain serious needs. For example, in Itireleng, they need roads, they need services, they need lights. Because of the connectivity, there's needs in Extension 3. There's too much of noise. There's family impacting there, where there's Shabin's been, what they call it, there's serious noise that is there that's affecting communities. In Lodium, there might be proper Lodium, there might be needs of saying, hold on, our dustbins are not being picked up regularly. The people are dumping. We need street lights. The people are speeding. In the outskirts of Lodium, it might be, hold on, the traffic lights are not working. So if you're taking from various aspects, from drugs, security, pensions, people needing help in those spaces, businesses, health, unemployment, is a serious impact here. The question is, how can we pull that together as a collective by putting people first? People are looking for a leader, and people are looking for somebody that can bring collectiveness into the space to lead people into a greener pasture. And that is something I believe I can bring to the party. Currently, right now, I don't belong to any political party. I belong to the people. So people can tell me what they want, when they want it, how they want it. And in doing that, I will not be dictated by a political party to say, this is what you need to do. And that independence will demonstrate that people are able to govern. People are be able to take their lives into their own hands and say, this is what we want for our community.
Thank you, Mr. Thushan Padayachee, independent candidate for Ward 61. Thank you very much for accepting the invite, and thank you very much for letting the community know you better. Now, ladies and gentlemen out there, as they say, the ball is in your court. You have heard for yourself the aspiring candidate for Ward 61. The decision is up to you now. Mr. Thushan, as a build-up to the elections on the 1st, will definitely engage you on a regular basis to make sure that the community knows you not only better, but the best. Thank you.
Yusuf, thank you very much. Just last word from my side is that I'm here to stand for what we call transparency. I'm here to stand for accessibility and accountability, so people then can rely on me as Thushan Padayachee. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. You are tuned to Radio 1584, your community radio station. And as a reminder, at 10:30, we are going to be having the Democratic Alliance, that is Mr. Dumisani, in the studio, who is also going to be giving us an idea of what the DA stands for. And if you want to participate on the program, you've got an option of a WhatsApp number, that is 0766 559 333. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you, Dumelang. Thank you.
Stay educated, entertained, and enlightened by listening to Radio 1584 International.